In this video, I'm going to show you how to make a Zoho Creator form that will update a lead in the CRM and how to create links to that form so that you could send out a link via an SMS that your prospects will fill out, and then after they complete the form, the CRM record will automatically be updated. We'll go to Zoho Creator and make a new application to start off with. It's going to be a simple one for this demo. I'm just going to have a couple of fields in it. One for the record ID of the lead, and another one for, say, the first name. The record ID field is going to be a hidden field. We don't need people to see it, but we'll make sure that it can still be updated via the URL. Okay, we'll drop in a single line field for the record ID. And we'll make it so that only the admins can see it. And we'll do first name, so you'd add in a whole bunch of other fields, but for this demo, I'm going to keep it pretty simple. I've made the form. Now I'll set up some workflows. So what we're going to do, we've got the lead ID. We can do some delete script here to get the data for that lead. And then we can update the first name to be the lead's first name. If you had other fields, you'd put them in here as well. For the products, we're going to assume that that's going to be something that they fill in, but the first name will be pre-populated. That's the first part of it. The second part of it is that when we save the record, we want to automatically update the lead. So we'll make another workflow. And we'll say on form submission, here what we'll do, we're going to do basically the reverse of that. I've got a field in my CRM for products of interest, so we can add that in. I'll go to APIs to get the API name. Okay. And any other fields, you'd have to map them here as well. Okay, so we now have a form and we can do a quick test. Let's do it with this lead here. So we can use the form permalink, and then that's the name of the form. To show you how I got that, I went to access this application. And then it's automatically pulled up this form link ID. Then I changed the hash here to form perma. And then after that, I can populate fields by putting them in like this. I get the field link name by either checking the delete script where it's got them all easily available, or I can go into the form edit area and I can find the IDs from there. I'll show you that way too. Here's where I get the ID. Okay, so you can see that it has filled in the first name, and then if I set what products are you interested in, let's have a look. Like the first time, so I'm going to quickly debug that. Could be useful to you as well. So we'll go this. We can use alert to help us figure out what's going on. And we can't have it in a on submit, so instead we'll add it to validation. So now when I submit the form, I'll get an alert telling me what happened. And I'll have to do cancel submit here. Okay. So in this case, I think it will need us to slightly modify this because Zoho products they like is actually a multi-select list. So instead, we can try making it a JSON array. Maybe it's because I think it only expects, probably put the wrong data in there. Just a best do it like this. Sorry, it should be like this. As an array type there. And now we can see that that is updating. I can update the first name as well. Yep. So first name was updated. The products was updated as well. The next step is that we want to then add this into an SMS template. I'll first remove the validation code because we don't need that anymore. Just copy what I have here. Before I do that, I'll show you that this field won't be visible to other people. We'll need to publish it first, actually. Okay. We'll now get this really long link, which includes the security code in here. And then we'll put the lead ID at the end. You'll put it like this with a slash after the security token, and then any fields that you want to populate go at the end here. And this will be what the form looks like. And you can see it doesn't have the lead ID field there anymore. We can now use this URL. It's very long though, so we'll want to use a URL shortener. We want to use one that allows us to pass in query parameters. tinyurl.com for that. I'm building this feature into my SMS extension, but for now, we're going to use this one. Now we can do it like this. You can see that'll still work, but it won't be as long. What we can do now, we can send out that SMS as part of over here, as part of a templated message. template will look like this. Now we can try sending that out. Okay, so we did receive that message. If I open that one up, indeed pull it out of Creator. Probably want to do something differently after they submit, by the way. I can show you that in a second. You can set it up so that after they submit, rather than reloading the page again, we might instead want to redirect them to a thank you page. You can do that within Zoho Creator. You can put in thank you message. And then you can direct them to a URL. You could have a thank you page set up there. The final thing I will show you is if you wanted to do the same thing in a workflow rule, you'd make a new workflow rule. The leads module, I've called mine prospects. I'm just going to make it so that it doesn't accidentally do that for new leads. But what we'll do a standard workflow SMS. Basically what we want to send out. And I'll test that quickly. and you can see that SMS was sent through. We'll double check that it works if I open it. Yep, looking good. Hopefully that helps you to be able to set up an SMS that sends out a link to a Zoho Creator form, and you can see how you'd be able to set up that Zoho Creator form, including debugging it, such that it can update data back in Zoho CRM.